What would you say is the difference between free will and freedom? It seems that free will still has the idea of a doer, someone thinking they have it. Thanks. But that's all in thoughts. Like, you can recondition the person to believe it doesn't have free will, but that's still in thoughts. There is the appearance of free will. But when you really recognize the self, you really recognize who you are, it's so obvious there is absolutely no free will. That life is simply happening and there's no you in there controlling the ship. But in thoughts, you can recondition yourself around free will, and I suspect that will really balance the person, because most people's thoughts gets very neurotic from the belief that they have free will, because it's a lie. And so therefore it drives the person crazy. I mean, ultimately in this moment, free will or not free will is actually a lie. But the problem with the idea of free will is that you believe that life is your choice and that you have responsibility. There is the appearance of responsibility. So I've got the appearance that I have to look after Khaleesi, and the appearance that I have to keep the house clean and pay all the bills and all that type of stuff. But ultimately you can only do what the body does. You can only think to do things that the body thinks to do. Like, what is it recently that I just didn't think of it? Like something like, you can't think of the things that you can't think of to do. It was something that I did that was really stupid. But if you don't have those other thoughts, then that's what you do. Like, say if you're driving now and you are typing in your phone and like changing the navigation on your phone, and you crash into someone, you kill them, your body has to take the responsibility of that, and you have to go to jail. And I'm sure there will be like sadness in you. That's the appropriate response for taking someone else's life, from doing something as silly as typing into your navigation, and you will receive the punishment for that. However, just let me take a drink for dramatic effect. I couldn't think of the word. However, when you really understand the working of this life, then you'll see that you couldn't have done it any other way. And you can take the punishment of people calling you selfish for doing that and saying that you shouldn't have done that. And it is selfish. It's a selfish act the body does when it plays with its navigation in the car. That is a selfish act to do. It's selfish. Yeah. But that's karma. Like, I've done that. I'm sure many people have done that, like pressed the phone or done something or pressed the radio. But that you can't do it any other way. So the body is selfish and you take the consequences for that, but understanding free will decreases a lot of the mental aggravation, because you can't go around beating yourself up for the next 40 years of your life, because you know so deeply that it couldn't have been any other way. Our society does this all the time. Like, it really, like reading the newspapers and magazines, like the blame and all the like throwing tomatoes at each other. It's really a power game. It's all about trying to be the most powerful, trying to look the best and be the goodest, the kindest, just to look good, just to win a power game, really. When you really understand it, you understand that you couldn't be any different. It doesn't mean that you have to hang out with people that are really unempathetic and really selfish and really narcissistic all the time. But even if you do, you couldn't have done it any differently. Even if you do keep returning to an absolute sociopath, you couldn't have done it any differently. It's the way it is. You're not in control of this. So really understanding that on the intellectual level, and knowing that on the level beyond the intellect, like knowing it as experience itself, that decreases psychological turmoil. Like, it's so much pressure on the human. We only ever get to see this moment, and the pressure on the human is that you only get to see this moment, but you have to make choices and you have to do things, And if you fuck it up in any way, then you are doomed to hell. Your life is going to be really bad. I mean, that's really like screwed up that we think like that. And it's just, it's not true. It's just a thought pattern that we've been indoctrinated by. Our society just pushes that on us because that's the way we've evolved, and it's not true. Because it serves survival, and now it serves survival most probably to go beyond that. But even the idea of survival is a concept. In a different society at a different time, yeah, wouldn't have that idea of survival.